So guys, today we are all about LGBTQI plus challenges. We are focusing on challenges.
Yeah. There are people who have went to even as far as having babies with these men who have sex with other men. They're called MSM. That's right.
If I sleep with this married man, here are what to expect. He's not going to call me during the day. I'm not going to take videos and pictures on Instagram and TikTok and do couple challenges. I know that, there's certain things,
Hey, chippy ki chippy, boss. And then chippy highly chippy, but to let them be themselves.
Yeah.
Baba create ka image ya Modimo.
Hello everyone, welcome to another interesting episode of Munches and Thoughts. My name is Phathanani, I am your chef, and of course I'm not alone. Guys, good morning. You know what, I don't know if I'll be able to do this episode because ngiphethe abobhuti abahle. But anyway, let me start by saying, introduce yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? And what's special about you? So that we can start the business of the day.
Thobela. Nake namkhulu Tau, a reality TV star.
Oh, good stars. Okay.
Yeah. Ke tswa ka mo Limpopo ka mo. Ke ngwana
You
Sekhukhune.
from Limpopo?
Yes.
You came from Limpopo today?
Yes, I came from Limpopo.
I'm honored. You have got guests from far today. Thank you so much. Please know that I don't take you for granted. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Toko. Is it Toko? Okay, as I move.
Hello, my name is Donald. Most of you guys know me as a TikToker who does nostalgic music on TikTok. But I'm more than that. I'm a full human being. All aspects that are beautiful. I do have a 9 to 5, which I absolutely love.
Okay.
So I'm a marketer. I studied marketing in uni. I look at a glass half full instead of half empty. So everything that I do, I don't look at it from a negative point of view. So it's always positive. Because I feel like we are in a situation or in a world where things are really, really negative. And I think my purpose in life is to bring light to people's lives. That's me in a very short nutshell. There's more. We will uncover more.
Wow. Thank you so much. And thank you so much. Thank you.
Good morning. Still morning, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good morning. My name is Vigankosi, also known as Yamakosi. I am, a few things. I am currently back to radio. So I'm a radio presenter. I have a breakfast show called 012 Morning Waves. I identify as a gay boy, pronouns he and his. And I have my 9 to 5, I do communications for an organization called Pop In, which is quite amazing. And yeah, I'm just a full round ball of energy. Yeah.
Wow, guys, I am so excited. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. You are welcome. And please know that I don't take you for granted. And I appreciate it. I'm even having tears.
Wow.
Oh, gosh. And I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
As you heard them, Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Month.
Let's do that.
Happy Pride
Let's
Month.
toast to it.
Toasting to Pride Month.
It's a Pride Month.
And one other thing.
So guys, today we are all about LGBTQI plus challenges. We are focusing on challenges that we are facing as gays, lesbian, transgender, you can name it. Just to break the ice, just want to ask you guys a question. Why heterosexual married men cheat with gay men? Your thoughts?
We just started.
I mean, we literally
How
just
marinate something?
Let's move.
I know that there are men who sleep with men,
Yes.
but they don't identify as gay.
Okay.
And I believe there are men who sleep with men because they are attracted to other men and they like sex with other men. My thing is, let's not box each other, because there is a wide spectrum where you could be, and boxing each other into titles and sort of compartments and things. I don't like that, because I can wake up today feeling this way and then tomorrow feeling a different way and wanting to express my gayness in a certain way. So I don't think we should box each other. I know that there are men who sleep with men, MSM, 2M or something. But it's just men who sleep with men.
Okay.
And it should be okay.
It should be okay.
It should be okay, darling.
Yeah.
Let's hear other people's views. Yes.
Unfortunately, it should be okay, Donald, right? But society, however, has made it taboo. It's unspoken of. It is seen as men who do that are doing something wrong. If society then had said everyone should be fluid, because there is really a wide spectrum to this, then I don't think we'd be having such conversations. Men especially would carry the shame of sleeping with other men. So unfortunately, even though it's supposed to be okay, society says it's not okay. And it comes from more or less the heterosexual point of view, or sort of like perspective, where women would say, I'm not going to get married. Will you
do that when you are a woman? If your man is sleeping with other men?
No. I'm speaking from a place of privilege. I would, because I think my mind is open like that. There are people who have went to even as far as having babies with these men who have sex with other men. They're called MSM. That's right. So I would accept it, because then I don't understand, or I don't say understand, perhaps maybe I don't comprehend what my partner is going through or what is happening in their head. So I cannot ridicule, judge, perceive as, I just have to let them be. So if I'm a woman, and again, speaking from a point of privilege, if I'm a woman of being gay, if I'm a woman and my partner comes home and says, you know what, baby, mina singitanda manyamadoda manje, and I'll be okay with it.
Okay, let's hear. I'm coming back. I'm not that.
What's that again? For now, ke bona e le stressanyana.
Yeah.
Because most men background like the hit and run. They are trapped in marriages, so I think they must come out. Wabo? Yeah, because it actually kills the gay guys. By involved in the ball, because right now, the only time that you are having midnight. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's good for Bona, but at the same time, I think it kills the society, because they be pointing fingers for, no, that's a gay guy, look at him, and at night they give you a shout, so I think they should come out. We should actually boycott them somehow.
I'm tempted to differ. Why should we boycott them?
Why?
Maybe you need to give us more meat from them.
Okay. Where's Sanjay boycott? When I enjoy what's crafting.
Of course, when I'm giving you myself, which means I'm enjoying it, which means I'm okay. But anyway, proceed. I didn't hear other people. I'm just running the show.
Yeah.
Can I ask?
Go ahead.
Answer. So I said in the beginning, like sexuality is in a spectrum. And sexuality is for everyone. It's this huge spectrum where you can place yourself wherever you want to place it. There's feminine, there's butch, there's this, there's gay, there's straight, there's bi, there's fluid. There is, I just sleep with men.
Yeah.
They don't identify themselves as gay, so they don't need to come out. That's what I think. If you're a man and you're straight and you enjoy sleeping with other men, you're just a man sleeping with another man. It's up to the gay person who's involved in the situation to make an informed decision about who and what they want out of the situation. Unless they are lying to me and telling me that they are gay, then it's my choice to say, am I sleeping with this married man? Do I want to sleep with this married man? If I sleep with this married man, here are what to expect. He's not going to call me during the day. I'm not going to take videos and pictures on Instagram and TikTok and do couple challenges. I know that, there's certain things, because you've made, as a queer person, as a gay man, you've made the decision that this is the hill I'm willing to die on. I just think as gay men, we need to make better choices and not try to change people.
Yeah.
Because you cannot change anyone.
Yeah.
People change by themselves into whatever they want to be. Like I will give him so much love that you end up hurting yourself, because you're wanting to change this person to be gay and do gay things with you, but he's a man that sleeps with another man.
Thank you. Let me hear you. Then we move.
Here's my 1 cent right into this. I think it's also about consent. When you say we need to boycott, to some extent, okay, not that I agree with it, but I sort of see the point. But I also say these people are consenting. So if I choose to have an affair with a married man, I'm consenting to that. I'm agreeing to do that. So it means I'm fully participating. Nobody's forcing me or coercing me, unless if it's a different conversation. So it is the gay man's choice or the gay boy's choice to say, I agree to have these relations with a married man. We cannot out them because also as part of, it's Pride Month. One thing that we sort of celebrate as part of the LGBTQ is the sense of being, especially around Pride. If they feel like being in a closet is what they want, then let them be. We cannot want them to pull them out of it. Actually, it's not even a closet. Well, I'd say it's a closet because I see why it's a closet.
A safe space. Okay.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Yes. For somebody to hide in.
Yeah. Because of, I see that. So we cannot pull them out of a safe space and necessarily throw them into the world where it's unsafe, where it's filled with prejudice, judging, and all those things. So let them be that, and let us just accept the fact that they are there. And it's going to take us, we need to rather have conversations with them to say, but why are you doing that? Let's hear your view about it. You identify as straight, but what informs
we need to have
that?
conversations with straight people. Straight men,
straight men who I don't know how going to consider their identity, but straight men who are willing to come to the forth and said, I've had that experience, and I did that experience because ABC. You might find that maybe it's no longer working endlini, or they've always been gay, but they had to please the family. So we need to find out why it's actually happening, but we cannot pull them out of a safe space to bring them into the world and expose them to everyone.
Thank you so much. Before I move, do you want to say something? Do you want to add something?
One thing I would say...
because now we need to move.
Yeah. Now I would say, don't you think somehow they are gay people, but they're involved in suicidal and other things because of maybe being used at the back doors.
Yeah.
So...
But who's using them?
I can see that.
Who's using them?
Yes.
The straight guy.
Okay, thank you. Hold it there. Today, we are talking about mental health, trauma, relationship in LGBTQI. We're also talking about the gay male toxicity and labels. Yes, I said that one was the icebreaker. This is what we're talking about.
Now we're going.
If now you had me and what you already said, already involved in what I've mentioned. So now I need your overview on what we are talking about. Then I can throw questions, any of you. It's mental health, trauma, and relationship in our society. And we also gay male toxicity. So basically, it's toxic among us. And
can we break them down?
You are more than
different
compartments. You are more than welcome. Okay, now that's... Let's move.
I think Donald will start.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna talk about relationships. My daughter. Look, for me, relationship has always been tricky for me because I'm from a school of thought of monogamy. I believe in monogamy. I see myself as a very loyal person. Like, you can ask my friends, you can ask, once I'm loyal to you, like I'm loyal, you know? And a lot of people always ask me like, but you know, it's a gay world and there's promiscuity and all of that. But like, why do you expect somebody to be loyal? I want somebody to be loyal to me because I will be loyal to them.
Yeah.
You know, that's number one. But in terms of homosexual relationships, especially gay men, there is a lot of other factors that come into play that we're struggling in terms of relationship. For an example, I'll give you an example, online dating. You know, finding somebody on Grindr, for an example, I always believe in that. Finding somebody on Grindr, it's going to be very difficult for you, for the person to move away from Grindr, because Grindr and these apps and technology have created a space where it's instant gratification. Whatever that I want, I can get now. And also it's that whole thing of there's a variety. Options. You know, technology gave us options, which has instead hurt us as well, because it's literally I'm with Donald, I like Donald, but I've got 3 or 4 other people and I can literally jump onto an app and shop around and find a better, and you will find somebody better than the person that you're in a relationship. True. I think we just need to work on, is this what you want?
But why are you going to a relationship if you still want to? I'm just asking, it's a question. Yeah.
I don't know, because I don't do that. I don't know, maybe.
Okay.
No. I think answering to that, but I also want to touch on toxic, gay toxicity.
Okay, you can just answer that and then
so
were you done, Donald?
Yes,
so I think it's because of that. It's because of options. Yes, you are committed or you want to commit to this particular individual, but the idea of there is a variety out there is exciting. I'll tell you this, and I'm not saying everyone, but it is in human nature that we are not satisfied. You get a phone today and then it's the latest, what, and then they release the next one. And you're like, yeah, I like this one, but I can get that one. So you want that one. You get a car, and then the car, after 5 years, you get, and you're like, I'm tired, then you get it. So we are really not satisfied in our nature with what we have. So even in relationships, especially in homosexual relationships, you get someone, you love them, you commit to them, and then a year later, you're like, but I can do better. Sometimes not even a year later, it's literally 2 days later, you're like, yeah, I've seen them naked, or I've seen them, I can get better. So it's the options are there, they're available, and it's just us not being satisfied with what we have. That's just, I'm just gonna...
Commitment, you need to commit.
Also, we're not the only thing we can commit to is Converse sneakers after a decade or so.
Okay. yes.
Yeah.
So, in mulfatseng laka, I go dumela hore nka ba le motho o moteng.
Oh, wow.
Na can't.
Okay, let's hear.
Yeah, so dinama tsa ka isantse di be tse dintsi.
Hectic.
Dinaka di tla le baletši. So somehow mata wa re ke di consent, like lefatshe le re leng ka ala rona, no, is different.
Yeah.
And through social media and other platforms of whereby you can watch people envy people. Actually, we get the belief. I wanna is mixed masala, you know. So loyalty is something, you know, we try to build it, but not too much.
But I call now, because I don't think if when you are loyal to yourself, you'll mind or worry about the next person. I don't know. It's just my thought. You can proceed.
Enough for like and when you travel around, you'll see these things happen. And with the toxicity. Yeah. Monna o ratana le monna o mkhulta o na le mosadi, and then mosadi wa mkhulta o betha monna o findile out there. It's good, crazy.
So umaku crazy when I'm called out, are you saying it's because I'm sleepy? So it's difficult for one to be loyal. And are you saying as well you have as you said, when emhlabeni wakho, dinama. That's what you said.
Yeah.
Like you can have a lot of people.
Yeah.
Just a personal question. Are you married?
Yes.
Are you in a polygamy marriage or you just...
I'm in a polygamy marriage. I'm married.
No, just wanted to know that. Let's proceed.
Look, can I just step in here? We are allowed to be who we are. I mean, we have fought for so long for me to be as flamboyant and as whatever as I want to be. You know, and there are people that live the polygamy way. It's not to say it's wrong. It's not wrong.
Yeah.
It's how people live. It's just, if you want to get into that space, you need to be well informed and well aware of what is going on in the situation. And your mjolo or your relationship becomes different to some of us who are still prescribed to the monogamy side of things. So we are different and we live differently, and we should be allowed to express and live as much as we want to, however we want to, because I mean, we're told, or now as gay people from a very young age, that no, a boy does not do this, a boy does not do that. Society rules were, you know, infringing on who we were. And, you know, you'd go to, like, for an example, a friend, when I started my career, said, you know, coming out and being gay at work is a disadvantage, you know, because of certain things, and you will be perceived this way. People are not going to take you seriously, blah, blah, blah. You know, all of these. So you come into a space with all those rules and stuff. And I think that is wrong. We are human and we live different lives. There are people that believe in this. We shouldn't believe in one thing, you know, but we should give that space for somebody who's saying, this is the way that I choose to live my life. We need to listen to the person, get into the world and try to understand it. And if you want to participate as a gay man, it's your right to do so, but you do so with informed decision and you are well aware of, this is the situation I'm going in. Onale wifey, onale ing, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So let people live, let people be who they are, because we have been fighting as people to live the way we want to live. So you can't now, after fighting, tell other people how to live, which is also another toxic masculinity.
I was about to say.
Enter.
I was about to say.
Enter.
It's very toxic. Because yes, even if with that, Donald, but we still, especially as part of the LGBTQ, we hate so much. We destroy so much.
True.
Oh my God, we belittle, we do all these things. There's a lot. So all these things, and when you look at it really, it's like, guys, you know, we really should be celebrating. We really should be accepting the diversity. We are not. And I think it comes from a place of, it's not even, because I wanted to make an excuse and say, we are not taught well, or we are not taught about being LGBTQ. But actually we are. The thing is, it's in us. So as a gay boy, if I'm driving a car and I have an apartment in Midrand and this I'm at these areas or social spaces where I'm drinking champagne, and then comes a boy from Soshanguve who took 5 taxis, who, you know, does not have the latest brand, who does not own an iPhone. And then I look at them and I'm like, you are not on my level. You know, it just comes off like that. And we tend to put this ones in a certain group and these other ones are, we other them. And it shouldn't be like that. Even in relationships, even in sexual relationships, even in friendships. And funny, we go around preaching, hey, acceptance, but we fail to accept ourselves.
That's how toxic.
And that's, you know, we fail that. And I'm like, but guys, if we don't accept ourselves, how do you expect other people? How do you expect other people to accept us? It's crazy. So the toxicity in the LGBTQI, you can literally cut it with a knife, and everybody can have a share.
Cool down. Your thoughts?
Not gonna problem.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very
I hear you.
toxic.
But I want to
Very
ask you a
toxic.
question now. What is it that needs to be done to stop this? Because it's bad and it's happening in our eyes and we are seeing it every day. And the bad about this, it's us. Like we against each other and then we bully each other, we class each other. Like, what is it? Your thoughts. Remember, Wuti, it's your thoughts.
Yeah. Look, for me, and this is, it's gonna sound so cliche and so simple. People don't know who they are, and people have not accepted who they are. They've not accepted the situation that they're in. They're not happy with themselves, and they therefore want to infringe, their unhappiness. And when somebody is, let's say for an example, I have insecurities about my weight. Every time I walk into a room, I'm going to inflict those insecurities to other people. But it's me. I'm the issue. I need to work on myself. I need to make sure that, Donald, you've got these are your flaws that you've got. Yes, accept them, learn them, that, okay, this is a flaw. I recognize you as a flaw, and this is the type of individual that I am. And I don't need other people to make myself feel better about myself. So for me, and I always say therapy, guys, please go to therapy.
I love therapy.
Please go to therapy.
I do
oh my gosh, like you get to learn a lot about yourself and your insecurities and your childhood traumas and insecurities and why you act in a certain way in situations. So for me, it's very granular. You have to look at yourself and you have to be happy with who you are. Once you're happy with who you are, you really don't care about making the next person feel bad so that you can be on top of them and feel great about yourself. So I think it starts there, looking at yourself and doing that introspection and, okay, doll.
That's profound.
That's me.
Yeah. I think we need to dismantle, you spoke about labels and classicism and all those things. I think we need to start, also I'm really contradicting myself because they are there for a specific reason. We need them. We need to know that you are gay, you are bisexual, you are that. We need to, for us to be able to identify that which we see. But at the end of it, I also want to say, we need to dismantle that. We need to come to a point where we've accepted that it is like that. There are men that sleep with other men and they're not necessarily gay or bisexual or whatever. We need to be okay with that. And in us being okay with it, it makes that person be themselves because they don't even have to be dragged out of that safe space. They can just come out and say, this is who I am. So we need to also, education is really not sitting, in front of a teacher and we need to educate ourselves. Literally, information is on our fingertips. If you see something that you don't understand or query, ask questions, from obviously a point of I want to learn and I want to know more. We need to do that. When it comes to the LGBTQI, we need to be tolerant and accepting of each other. If somebody is transgender, if somebody is lesbian, we cannot have, for instance, pride, and then something like I'm going to get in trouble if I mention the pride, but there's this particular pride. They'll drag me. There's this particular pride, and when it happens, like, we see all lesbians. It's a lesbian pride. It's not. It's pride. It's pride. It shouldn't be led by lesbians. It should be led by all the members of the LGBTQI. Transgendered people, we need to come out. I have a problem, a concern where it's pride, and then you see not even the person who's your friend who's transgender coming at pride, and you're like, why are you not getting there? Like, no, the space is toxic. So we've become so toxic to a point where we close even people that are supposed to be within that space. So pride should be inclusive of everyone. It should not be led by lesbians. It should not be led by gay men who run these big prides. It should not be that everyone should come to the table and say, we've come this far, we've fought, and then now it's time for us to celebrate. And
I think it's going back what, I think it was UD saying that we were talking about labels.
Yeah.
That, can I just put it in my way? It's where you're from, what you're driving, where you're staying, yes. I think that's how we class people. We class people. Okay, Chef Phathanani is driving. Chef Phathanani's got this. Then Chef Phathanani can be the one who is responsible for this. Forgetting it's not about that. Someone who's not even driving or who's not staying there can give an input that can build us, that can take us somewhere. But anyway, let me come to you and hear your thoughts on
Now on my thoughts, Phathanani, I think this thing must be, the knowledge must be included in the curriculums from the primary.
The foundation.
Yeah, Wabon. so that the mental health is sharp, because the bulliness started there. It's childhood traumas that they actually built you to become this toxic human being now as you grown up. So if at least ba root as teachers, but understand the show there's gay people, there's white people, there's what, and it's normal, blah, blah, blah. I think we're gonna have a better society in the next decade, because we are all well informed.
Look, I would just want to add to his point. It's also about having these conversations that we're having now, which is going to reach people that most probably were thinking about talking about these things and will spark something. I'm always of great sadness when big podcasts or big shows or the media shy away from talking about LGBTQI plus issues because they're afraid to be cancelled. Guys, I'm sorry, but we need to cancel people so that we can educate, so that we can grow.
Thank you.
Do you know what I mean?
Amazing.
So that's what I mean. It's about having the conversation. As difficult and as cringy as it is, have that conversation, because that is where the learning happens.
Okay, let me ask you this. I'm gonna read a story for you guys. I need your thoughts.
Okay.
But thank you so much for all the thoughts you just gave.
Thank you. Stunning.
LGBTQI plus Christians usually feel a lot of discriminations in religious communities they belong to after they come out. Most of the time, they are forced to leave or suspended from their responsibilities in those communities. What's your thoughts on this story I just read?
Your Christianity. So for me, that has always been used as a tool to, so it's either if you're not Christian, then you are not perfect, or you're not a human being.
You're not going to heaven.
You are not going to, apparently. As if people,
You're not going to heaven.
As if people built heaven. Nobody
Do we
would even
know
knows.
heaven?
Apparently, it's in the clouds.
Okay.
Up there.
Proceed.
So Christianity has been used like that, and then currently, actually, online, there's been a very a back and forth about accepting Christianities who are aware and acknowledge the LGBTQI. What does the Bible say? And pastors have actually came out to say, this is what I say personally as a pastor. So it's if you are LGBTQ, you don't really belong in there with the congregation. You either belong outside, you're an outcast and all that. So for me, that's very sad, but we should, because God preaches love, right? People say God is love. Then why are we not loving? And they liked throwing the Sodom and Gomorrah as a gay man who, I won't say I'm Christian, but who believes in certain things, is that in the Sodom and Gomorrah, it just so happens that gay people were there. It was not like, hey, we are punishing you because no, it is just so happens. As much as adultery and all those things. So people just use that. But what I want to say is that Christianity, then people have made it so exclusive to them. If you're not Christian, and by the way, they also have sins. By the way, if they were really to go by their book, the Bible, they would not even survive.
It's so sad before I come to you.
So I don't like to chat about religion and homosexuality a lot, because I don't have the correct knowledge to talk about it. Mm-hmm. I didn't study theology. I feel like if you study theology, you can come here and talk about it. You're not educate us. But my 2 cents on this is, if you're going to apply a rule, please apply all of them. If you're going to apply the word in the Bible that you say, oh, this is wrong, please apply all of them. Pork, you're not supposed to be eating pork. Like, let's all go to all the rules.
Yeah.
They say that Christianity is not evolving. It should evolve with time. It doesn't evolve. And that's a problem for me, because we are human beings and we are evolving. every day. I mean, even culture is evolving. You know, culture is changing and we're shaping our own culture in the 21st century. But religion is not evolving. So I don't know why it's the case, and it pains me because I had to leave the church because I was like, okay, clearly I'm not, it's not a safe space. Yeah, it's not a safe space for me. I didn't leave God. I left the church. I'm like, it's not a safe space for me. I'm very deliberate in spaces that I attend. I always, even in parties, simple parties, what kind of a space is a safe space for me to be who I am? If it's not a safe space for me to be who I am and I have to hide, I'm not going to go to that space. Yeah. So I've left the church, and purely because I didn't find it to be a safe space. I'm not an expert, but if you're going to be pulling out the word, don't just pull out the word to suit your agenda. Pull every word. Let's go.
Pull the words.
Yeah. Yes, Baba. We're happy.
Bona tsa rena ke bona bang a ke tsene kereke wa
Yeah.
aowa
Okay.
I
would like kereke because I see a lot of traditional, they have churches.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I give it too much thata mo melaong ya Bible ka bona. Because ntho e leng gore ke le ka e lemoga ke gore Bible e boxa dingqondo tsa batho.
Yeah. Okay.
A ke re batho ba leng go Bible phela ke badimo for nna.
Okay.
Ke badimo ba batho ba bangwe. So now I'm learning the culture ya botate mogolo. Gore tate be le kgoshi, tate mogolo be le kgoshi, magolo ba le kgoshi gadi. So in terms of the Christianity, I can be the gushara botse because most of batho ba leng gore ke ba tsena di kereke tsa bazalwane ke batho ba leng gore ba rutegile. And ba na le go ba judgmental. So rena re batho ba di culture, wa e bona. So a re le batho ba di culture, Bible ke nagana ra ba e ba le go thoma mo e thomang gona go fihla ka mafelelong, wa e bona. So the only pinpoint the verse tse leng gore di suita the congregation, and ga botse Bible ka yone e na le contradiction ka mogare.
Oh, okay.
Yes, go na le verse tse di tlo re ngo ska ja kolobe ya ba verse engwe ya re kolobe e diang, go na le contradiction ya these things. But more than everything, most of batho ba bazalwane ba judgmental, especially into their culture. And ke bona di client tsa rena tsa boshiu. Ke bona re ba fa ditlhare boshiu.
As I read the next story, and I need your thoughts.
Right? Drop mic.
Unless my honorable...
Go ahead.
He said, not religion, I'm out.
Here's another one. Love your neighbors. Love your neighbor as yourself. He thinks me, thinks Christians are not called to judge. It's me, Phathanani Mbatha. Others. Instead, they are called to love, to spread love, even in hopeless places. That's my statement. What's your thought on my statement?
Love your neighbor is so broad, right? It does not necessarily even mean that your neighbor, but we have went to the extent of we wake up in the morning, because you are saying Macron or lawyer and all that. But a neighbor could be somebody who's gay. A neighbor could be somebody who is
The traditional healer. Now the Christian.
You understand? A neighbor could be all these other things that you are necessarily not. So if you need to apply the love, it needs to be there. But if you judge, then it means that you don't love your neighbor. And Christianity is supposed to do that exactly, to spread love and find love in hopeless places and then, save people, but it's not doing that. If a gay man can walk out of church just because the church says they're not welcome, just because they're gay, then we're not loving our neighbors. It's a different kind of loving that we're talking about.
So the whole congregation,
they are
sinners.
They are also, no. Everyone is a sinner. You're not even taking it to church. Every single person is a sinner, right? Yeah. But it's like, why are you looking at my sins? For the fact that I love a man, I'm sleeping with men, so much it's a sin. When I no. So it's religion or people, congregants, they would point or blame, but they're not looking at the mirror to reflect on them. Because it is about you. So if you're saying, I'm doing A, B, C, D, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Let's hear the...
Yeah, it's really is about loving each other. And I believe it's about loving each other. And we have to love each other in order for us to call ourselves African, because we are not an individualistic culture. We don't come from an individualistic culture where one man's island, one and one there. You know, we come from a society of the collective, like mutu ki mutu ka batho, you know, that unity that, you know, you can knock, go next door and ask for salt or like onion if there's no onion. You know, that is neighborly love. That is, we are living on this earth together and we are all living as one, and we should love each other instead of, you know, hating.
Yes, back down.
Ya lerato ke lerato. So le mola dikerekeng ke nagana re nka ba no bontshana ka taba tsa lerato le tlhompho. Mo dikerekeng mo nka ba rute ka lerato, tlhompho le boikokobetso. Ke yona love your neighbor as yourself. My neighbor ke nna ke sangoma every day ke tsoa ke fisha setlhare. A ke vuthele wena. Ke vuthela jaaka. My so ga ebe ka na mogo, because re fetsa le gore ra sokola today, maybe ngwana wa mo ntlong or mosadi wa ba mo ntlong ha ke na koloi ka makhelwane ba na le koloi, ke nyaka ba ngishetse spetlele or ba nthushe ka something, shetse ke tshaba o ya ka kwa boshiu go sa ke fitla ka ba ka no re tshwaregile moloi wa bona. So yeah, ithathanyana ibuima o la bona, but I so wish gore we can really look at the 10 commandments, because we are breaking every day. Baruti, batho ba eleng gore ke di trustees go ke bana re ba tshepileng gore ke bona ba ka re bulelang sa mojako wa modimo ba senya every day. We all sinners, so we are trying. Let's just repent every day and try to change the world. Spread the love.
Let's spread the love.
Unconditional love.
Unconditional love.
Yep.
Anyway, now we are closing the show. We don't finish content here because you might be called back.
Okay.
So this is home, and I'm busy working on something very interesting. But it's a Pride Month. I need your word of encouragement. And it's Uganda where they just passed the bill that's really, really, really hurt me. So I just need your word of encouragement. It's a Pride Month, the Ugandan people. And let's spread some love. Yes, Tao.
Hey, chippy ki chippy, boss. And then chippy highly chippy, but to let them be themselves. Baba creatilwe ka image ya modimo. Everyone is here to change the world, inspire. And baskabe ba kry le gore ba change ka dingcondo tsa batho tse negative gore ho diang. So long as you good, wa feel gore modimo mo wena, you are doing the righteous for na uchipi.
Chippy. Let's hear.
Now I have just one message, and she's this to a gay boy who's like 9 or 10. I just want to say that you are loved. Love yourself. Because the only way that you're going to give love is if you are self-full. You're full of love. You can't give love when you are empty and you don't have love. So love yourself. You find the way you are. Oh my word, you find the way you are. And the world is going to celebrate you. The world is celebrating me now.
I am celebrating you.
So be yourself. Be yourself. The world is going to celebrate your uniqueness. Don't be like other people. Don't act like other people. Don't be like other people. Be yourself. Be true to yourself and love yourself. That's the only way that you can give love to other people.
Beautiful.
Stole the words right out of my mouth. But it's like, if you don't love yourself, how do you expect
Anybody else to love?
Can
I get an amen?
Can I get an
Amen.
That is me. That is me. And happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month.
On that note, I want to say thank you so much. You were amazing. And we are family. Next time you'll be called again.
Yes.
Go back to Shisa.
We'll be back.
I want to say thank you so much to each and everyone that is watching Munchies and Thoughts, giving Munchies and Thoughts some love. I don't think I'll be where I am, except you. To Meth & Co., thank you so much. To Plex Studios, thank you so much. Angu, thank you so much. And to myself, Chef Phathanani Mbatha, thank you so much. On that note, it's a wrap! I love you guys! Happy Pride Month! Thank you, darlings. Thank you. Can we